Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Today I got in the mail another little mystery package, and mystery to you guys, I actually know what it is. What we've got in the mail today is this guy's little brother. And Tamiya USA was kind enough to get us out a test shot of the new M1A2 Abrams kit in 48 scale. So, looks to be a very nice kit, and it's going to be pretty much the exact model that this one is right here. So, let's get started on it. To start the video off, I'm just going to show you the basic spruce setups. There's only 5 sprues in the entire kit, but this way you'll get an idea of what each one of them look like. Okay, to start out, as you can see, it's a multi-piece hull. The sides of the hull, though, do have the suspension arms molded in, so that'll be a little bit of a time saver. The only part that needs to be glued on in here are the suspension arm that holds the idler wheel, and the return rollers need to be put into place as well. And once we get those in, there's also this big metal weight that'll get glued into place right here to give it some heft to it, because it is pretty lightweight and small. So we'll just go down the line here, start attaching parts. And the fit is real tight on this piece, so even though it's multiple pieces, it shouldn't be any problem to put together. I'll let that set up for a little while. Now I've started gluing together the road wheels, so I've got all the road wheels sanded, put together, as well as the drive sprocket. And there was just a couple of little pieces to glue into place on here, so we got all that together as ready as well. Okay. Hello, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. This is going to be a little pain. So here is the almost completed lower hull. After we glued this in, I also did put a little bit of super glue inside to hold the metal. It rattled around a little bit. And we've also attached the back. Now, as for starting the upper part of the hull, I've attached the side skirts here in place, and they clip right in there. And this will just fit in here as so. Now, I'm not going to attach the upper hull because I'm going to try to build the tracks in a way that I can pull them off and paint them separately from the road wheels. We'll see how that progresses. Okay, as we start to assemble the turret, there's a couple of polycaps that go inside of here, so we have elevation on the gun. And I just glued together this portion here, which was 4 parts total, all fit together real well. When it comes to the barrel is molded as one piece for the bulk of it. You do have 2 separate pieces that make up the bore evacuator, that will have to get glued into place here. And they have indicator marks inside, so you can't put it on backwards like I just did. That's why it won't fit. You can see that's how it'll clip right in. And the very end piece, they give you a separately molded end cap for the barrel, so it's hollow. So what I will do is I will start putting all these things together, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. I've started to assemble the upper part of the turret here. Now I put the barrel in place, and I started to do some sanding. I'm going to use a little more sanding on that to knock down that edge, but I think it's starting to look pretty good. I also wanted to point out too, give you an extreme close-up, the anti-skid that Tamiya molded into this looks very, very nice. It's not overly done, especially in 48 scale. It wouldn't be that much on it. So I've also gone ahead and attached the beginnings of the spins on the side of the vehicle, and I've gone ahead and also assembled up the rangefinder, which will get glued into place there. The CITV gets glued right into place there, as well as the commander's ring, cupola ring with the machine gun. Also glued in the ring around the loader's hatch as well. And then we have these little pieces which also have the anti-skid on them, and they will pop right into place, very similar to the way the big 16 scale one we just completed. So all that'll get glued in. I've also started gluing up the APU, but that won't get attached until we actually start doing more of the basket. So I'm going to get all these parts glued on, and we're going to go on to the next step. This next little section, I'm just going to show you the assembly of the bustle rack as well as the side bin racks on the vehicle, and how small and precise the moldings are on it. Okay, we've got the parts all ready to go here, and as I was showing you with how delicate the turret basket is, the bustle rack is, and I was just dry fitting that, and that fits very well right into place. We've also got the APU that we've got assembled, which we'll glue on right into there, and started setting up some of the machine guns and some of the other auxiliary parts. The grenade launchers are couple of little parts, but they are very nicely molded as well, and they'll just pop right into place. So what I'll do is I'm going to get all these parts on, because it's kind of hard in front of the camera to get all these little tiny parts using tweezers. My hand will be in way half the time anyway. So I'm going to get all of that put on, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. Now the tracks on this vehicle are link and linked tracks, and I've got one side set up on the other side, as you can see, already done. What we're doing here is kind of just lining up all of the different pieces that make up the entire bottom run, as well as the runs that go up the sides. And we put a little liquid cement on them, let them set up for a few minutes, and then we can drop them into place, and it'll wrap right around each one of the pieces. And as you can see here on this side, the only last piece we have to put in is just this top panel, which we can do later on. But you want them to wrap around the drive sprocket as well as the idler wheel. And we also have the ability to pull them completely off and paint them separately. Now that's the run of tracks that we've let set up for a little while, and don't want them to dry completely, and you can see that we can get them to line up, and just with a little working it around the drive sprocket here, getting it to line up. The drive sprocket does have a poly cap inside of it as well, so you will be able to spin it a little bit to get them to line up properly. And that one pulled away a little bit, but we'll put a little more glue on that and get it to line up better later. But you get the idea of how the tracks are going to lay in place. Now here is our completed model. We have done everything, put everything into place here. Now I haven't glued the turret in place or the top hull in place, and that's just so we can get to painting. We can also remove the tracks at this point as well to make painting easier as we go. We're going to start off painting the entire vehicle NATO black first, and this is going to be our shadow coat. And after we get this done, we'll do all the panels with a white, just regular XF2 flat white, and that'll give up some of our highlights. So when we go to put our final coat of our special mix of paint, which is a 50-50 mix of XF57 buff and XF59 desert yellow, and it's just a lighter form of desert yellow, so it looks like it's a little bit more faded. Okay, to make our base, we've already had the wood that's cut out, and I had some metallic decals. Actually, they're stickers from Tamiya that I put over here in the corner. What I did now was I just took a thin piece of just polystyrene sheet and cut it to the general shape of the piece here, so we have a good starting point. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Vallejo desert sand mixture, and we're just going to apply a thin coat across the piece here. And I'm just using another piece of styrene to spread this on. And it doesn't have to be perfect at this stage because we're going to be cutting out the edges, so. Okay, after I completely covered the piece of plastic with the desert sand, I pushed some track imprints into it, and we've let it dry now for a couple hours, and now we can just take a pair of scissors, because the plastic is so thin, and just cut out kind of a random shape that we can lay down. And this random shape will just still leave some of the edges of the base exposed, but still show off some desert sand. So here we are. Here is our completed model, and this wasn't really a diorama per se. This is more of just a display base I wanted to create to show off the new vehicle. Now what I did do a few other weathering techniques on this after we got all the paint done, and it's pretty much identical to what I just did with the 16 scale, just on a smaller scale. We did a little bit of just very light chipping around some of the edges. We also did some streaking with the enamel streaking grime just on the side edges here, just to give it a little bit of wear and tear as if it's been out in the desert. We went ahead and just painted the vision ports Now they're not clear in this kit because they are so tiny, but we just painted some clear blue over them to kind of give them the effect that they're glass. And also painted up the front lights as well as the rear tail lights as well. And then finally, after I had done all the other weathering techniques, we just lightly misted over the entire thing a light coat of XF57 buff, and that was just to kind of like neutralize all of the shininess from the enamels and just kind of blend everything together there. So overall, the kit is obviously very simple to put together. The anti-skid looks really, really good once it's painted up, and it shows off the dirt effects very well as well. Something like this can easily be assembled in as little as probably like 4 or 5 hours of actual construction time. It's only 5 sprues in the kit, and everything fits together very, very well. Kind of give you one more little 360 view on it there. Now what I'll show you is a comparison between this and the other 2 larger scale versions. So this is a comparison of Tamiya's 3 M1A2 Abrams. They're all virtually the same kit, just in different scales. Obviously 48th. This is the 35th scale kit that we built. That was probably about a year ago and painted up in this Murdic camouflage. And then of course you know about the 16th scale that we just built up recently. Kind of give you the comparison in size. So I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.